去年10月的这一场攻击震动全球，打破了中东的和平，更打乱了美国在中东的布局。2020年，川普一手推动阿拉伯联合大公国跟以色列世纪大和解，一纸亚伯拉罕协议为美国在中东的盟友计划展开序曲。
The Trump administration said very firmly that if there are countries that are willing to sign a peace agreement with Israel, the United States would try and give them something in return. And in the context of this, we saw the agreements with the UAE, with Bahrain, and then subsequently with Sudan and Morocco as well. And this was really, I think, a first step of trying to create this Arab-Israeli Alliance in 2020.
经济合作是亚伯拉罕协议最显而易见的成果。去年5月，以色列与阿拉伯联合大公国达成自由贸易协定，取消96%的进口商品关税，双方贸易额增加106%，一口气冲到250亿美元的历史新高。对以色列而言，更是维持经济出口的强大后盾。2022年，以色列将近半数的出口额都来自于高科技。但这些新创公司背后的资金有80%来自海外，高达125亿美元的国防出口，也有将近1/4都是亚伯拉罕协议的盟国贡献。但对美国来说，以色列能打破跟沙烏地阿拉伯之间的僵局，这才是中东计划的重头戏。
First of all, in terms of legitimacy, a peace with Saudi Arabia would undoubtedly open the doors for ties with other Muslim-dominated countries.Then on a strategic level, Saudi Arabia, together with Israel, would form a bulk of a very powerful alliance in the region, very much concerned with the rise of Iran and its proxies, such as the Houthis in Yemen, and of course Hezbollah in the north, but the core, of course, being Iran. And of course, finally, as far as Israel is concerned, there are many economic opportunities.
除了政治上的合纵连横，经济上也能为美国开出一条连接重要贸易枢纽的经济走廊，包括荷姆兹海峡、苏伊士运河都在其中。对沙烏地阿拉伯来说，跟以色列达成经济以及政治合作，也绝对是利大于弊。
Ties with Israel would also provide Saudi Arabia, and especially the monarchy,with an extra clout that it requires in light of Iran's expansion into Iraq, into Lebanon, and into Yemen as well. So both sides had a lot to gain from it.
但完美的中东布局却忽略了最重要的变数。
Netanyahu very quickly after the Abraham Accords, of course, reversed his permanent commitment not to annex the West Bank. I think that those agreements, the Abraham Accords, though, were never really primarily about Palestine, but really directed to developing pragmatic partnerships with Israel and strengthening Gulf security relationships with Washington, D.C.
巴勒斯坦的问题像是蝴蝶效应，让大约80%的亚伯拉罕协议盟国民众对这份协议抱持负面看法。一场以巴冲突更揭开了这个不能说的秘密。
Do you think the Palestinian issue is a deal breaker for Saudi Arabia?
I think in the current context of today, yes, I do think it is. I think it will be optically very difficult for the leadership in Saudi Arabia.
尽管沙烏地阿拉伯针对以色列还停留在谴责的层面，并没有展开制裁或是使用禁运，但战火造成整个中东的震荡，甚至整个国际社会舆论的撕裂，巴勒斯坦的争议问题成为维系中东和平的必要关键。
I would find it very difficult to see a normalization that would not include any kind of Palestinian dimension to it.Particularly now that the Israelis and the international community, frankly, will need somebody to govern Gaza after the war. We will have literally millions of Palestinians that will need aid. They will need to restore their homes. They will need to send their children back to schools. Hospitals will need to be restored.
但现在以巴问题未解，接下来美国以及英国都将准备展开关键选举，对中东议题的关注会明显下降。沙烏地阿拉伯以及波湾国家势必得挑起主导地位，才有望维系中东地区的和平。TVBS 新闻综合报道。